Hello NCAC sports fans and welcome back to another episode of The Rundown. On this week's show we'll highlight a late season charge by the Wabash men's basketball team, a monster game from Wooster senior Lauren Hancher, and we'll start to look ahead at the scenarios on the table for the upcoming NCAC Basketball Tournaments. On the men's basketball front, the Wabash Little Giants have strung together 3 straight victories and will enter the final week of the regular season, having clinched a spot in the 8-team NCAC tournament for the 17th year in a row with a 7-9 mark against conference foes. Sandwiched in between 2 victories over Allegheny and Denison was the Little Giants' marquee win of the year as they pulled off the 76-71 upset over number 10 Ohio Wesleyan last Wednesday in Crawfordsville. Leading the charge for Wabash in their recent stretch has been this week's NCAC Men's Basketball Player of the Week selection, senior Daniel Pervlisis, who finished the week with a pair of double-double performances. The Noblesville, Indiana native opened the week with a 23-point, 10-rebound effort in the victory over OWU, before pulling down 14 boards and scoring an additional 24 points in Saturday's 86-61 victory at Denison. In the 2 games combined, Pervlisis shot 20 of 24 from the field to increase his season shooting percentage to 67.9%, which currently ranks 3rd among all Division III men's basketball players. And while we enter the final week of the regular season, having already determined the 8 teams that will be playing in the NCAC tournament, and knowing that OWU, Wooster, and Hiram have already clinched opening round home games, there is still plenty to play for as numerous seeds are still up for grabs, including the final spot in the top 4, which will ensure that team the final home game in the quarterfinal round. There are several marquee games to pay attention to in the final week of the regular season. Wednesday night matchups include Wittenberg hosting Kenyon and Hiram traveling to Denison, while Saturday's bouts will feature Wittenberg traveling to Hiram and Kenyon hosting Wabash. In women's basketball, Denison has clinched at least a share of its first NCAC title since the 2010-11 season, as the Big Red currently boasts a 13-1 mark against conference foes. DU has also clinched the top seed in the upcoming NCAC Women's Basketball Tournament via the head-to-head tiebreaker over second-place DePaul. The penultimate NCAC Women's Basketball Player of the Week award for the 2015-16 season went to Wooster senior forward Lauren Hancher after the Sycamore High School graduate exploded for 32 points on 14 of 22 shooting in the Scott 65-50 victory over Hiram last Wednesday. Hancher, who enters the final week of the regular season 3rd in the league in scoring with 383 points, will go down as one of the top players in Wooster history, as she currently ranks 2nd in program history with 1,338 points and is 2nd all-time in field goals made with 564. While Denison, DePaul, and Kenyon have all clinched opening round home games in the NCAC Women's Basketball Tournament, there will still be plenty of excitement in the final week of the regular season, as the 4th spot in the standings is still up for grabs between several teams. There are numerous games on the slate this week that could have a direct impact on that 4th spot, including Kenyon hosting Wittenberg on Wednesday night and Denison traveling to Allegheny on Saturday afternoon. The final seeds and pairings for both the NCAC men's and women's basketball tournaments will be announced on Saturday night following the conclusion of all regular season contests. And as always, NCAC sports fans, for up-to-date news, stats, and standings from around the North Coast Athletic Conference, you can visit our website at www.northcoast.org. Also be sure to follow us on Twitter at NCAC, as well as like us on Facebook. Well, that puts a wrap on this week's show, but be sure to join us again next week for another edition of The Rundown.